Welcome to Neurographica podcast, the number one podcast dedicated to all things Neurographica. I'm Anna Morali, your certified Neurographica instructor, here to guide you through powerful insights, the latest updates, and meaningful conversations with leading Neurographica experts from around the world. This is the art of transformation. Check the episode notes to claim your bonus, and let's begin. In today's episode, I would like to talk about different pathways that you can take using Neurographica method. As you know, Neurographica is a transformative method that has its roots in psychology and neuroscience. And there are two definitive branches that have developed over the years. There is Neurographica as a method, and there is also neuroart. With neuro art, it's difficult to say in exact direction and benefits of it because there are a lot of people out there who call their art neuro art or neurographic art, where they only take a very basic elements of the process and they really don't know the philosophy behind the method and they just call it because it looks similar. They call it newer art. So it very depends on the provider or who is teaching you the technique. And very often with neuro art, there is an emphasis on creating a beautiful picture or emphasis on calming down or having sort of a therapeutic effect. When it comes to Neurographica method, there is a lot of structure involved there. There is more research and more scientific approach to the process. It is a mindful practice that is based on 8 steps of the basic algorithm, and that allows you to go through the process. The biggest emphasis in Neurographica method is actually on how you feel during the process. It's the method of self-reflection, and large part of the course and teachings when it comes to certified courses is about self-reflection, how you use self-reflection as part of your creative process and applying that technique at different levels of consciousness and subconsciousness. So, in a nutshell, that's the difference between the method and not a method. And if you want to know more about Neurographica, you can listen to a couple of other episodes that I talk about the method in great depth. Today, I'd like to focus on the different pathways that you can take if Neurographica is something that you've been interested in. Perhaps you've had several workshops completed, different experiences, open events, paid events, programs, etc. So if you are at the beginning of your journey, there is a certified route, which means that you go and enroll on a course called Basic User, and this is the entry-level course in Neurographica. And that course helps you to understand the psychology, methodology, the basic principles of Neurographica as a whole. It helps you to learn the 8 steps of the method, understand how to apply those 8 steps independently. So it really geared to teach you how to use algorithms for removing limitations and algorithm for revealing intentions in a sort of self-coaching environment, allowing you to work with your personal blocks, limitations, clear this space and energy, so to speak, manage your emotions, and essentially becomes your building block for every single practice, workshop, or course that you are going to take in the future following that specific certification. When we're talking about certified courses, I think the main key there is that it's not just the paper that gives you that tells you that you are now achieved the entry level. It's about having a mentor and an instructor who provides you with feedback, somebody who's going to look at your drawing and give you specific feedback based on your progress, based on your reflection, and that feedback includes not just the technical aspect of the drawing, but also quite often the psychological aspect of the drawing, although that does depend on your provider. So the basic user is the first certified course. However, it is only for personal use. So that doesn't give you the right to teach or use it with other people. This is purely to work with self. So this is the route of self-development. And if you are just going down the route of self-development, then and you are enjoying the structured approach to learning, receiving information from a reliable source, somebody who's been actually trained in Neurographica and has the rights to teach Neurographica because it's a psychological method, actually more to the method than it might meet the eye, and it might look like they're just you drawing lines and you doing the colors and that's all it is to it. No, actually there is a large psychology piece behind it called Pyramid of Consciousness, and understanding how Neurographica links to different levels of your consciousness and subconsciousness really gives you that depth and appreciation that this isn't just some kind of doodle technique that calms your nerves, that actually it works at the deeper level of your psyche. And that's why it is important to learn from somebody who is trustworthy and who has completed certification, because you are working with your psyche, you are working with your emotions. So you've got to be in safe hands in order to make the most of it, and in order to have that sort of safe and holistic approach to your personal development. So let's continue down the path of discussing your self-development tools. So this is for those who are not looking to implement Neurographica in their business or offer it to other people. They just want to do it for themselves because they found that Neurographica really is impactful and it's working with numerous issues, whether that is confidence building, working with anger, grief, removing limitations, etc. So once you complete that basic user level, it kind of opens doors to everything else, both professional and self-development. As a self-development route, you then have an option to take other 8 courses, certified courses in Neurographica, and I'm gonna name them quickly. It's composition, color, neurosketching, neuromandala, neurosynthesis, neurocommunication, NeuroGoal, and NeuroTimeline. So each course has its own right and a very different program. And you could probably tell from the name what that may include, but it just gives you a good scope of different options, and you can kind of take them all together, or you can mix and match and take them in different order. Although I would advise taking a neurocomposition course after your basic, because it's almost like the basic as well, because without composition, really, you are missing a lot of information about the full range of figures in Neurographica, about understanding the in different movements, diagonals, about sizes of the picture, sizes of the lines and composition. So there's a lot of information in composition that I think pretty much as equally important as the basic user. The composition is definitely a course I would recommend to complete to everybody, whether you are going to professional side of it or whether or not you continue your personal development. And obviously, once you completed your basic user level, you also have the opportunity to take different programs that are not certified. So there are memberships where you meet in a group with people. For example, I have a membership and we meet almost every week and we draw together as a group, work on different themes. We use all sorts of algorithms from across the courses that I've mentioned above. Also, the algorithms that I create myself, depending on the theme. For example, one of them could be a Ho'oponopono workshop, which is not included in any of the courses, or it could be a combination of different algorithms together. So you have memberships. You also have specific programs. For example, we did a program called Live with Purpose, and we were using Neurographica as a concept to review different aspects of life and work towards the purpose and finding out what the purpose of life could be for you. So that kind of gives you the tools to access pretty much any workshop, program, class, or course with Neurographica method, because basic user gives you the tools and understanding of the main principles of Neurographica and also ability to follow the instructions from different instructors and understanding how to work with your drawing independently. So, for example, if you were behind on the live class or you want to spend extra time on your drawing, you have those skills and abilities to do it independently. If you are looking to use Neurographica as a professional pathway, there are two streams there. You have Neurographica specialist and you have Neurographica instructor. And it really depends what you love doing and what you prefer doing in your life right now, or maybe in your career right now. A lot of coaches, therapists, hypnotherapists, healers, those artists as well, those people who already have a modality or business, coaching business, or working with groups, delivering workshops, delivering some kind of transformational programs, one-on-one sessions, they find that completing Neurographica specialist certification works really well because it adds Neurographica in their portfolio. And the specialist really essentially very similar to a life coach. So the things that you are able to do is one-on-one coaching using Neurographica with specific algorithms, and you can also deliver group sessions also with a set of algorithms. So the biggest difference between specialist and the instructor is that specialist certifications has more limitations in terms of the choice of algorithms, and also Neurographica specialist doesn't have the right to teach the method to anybody. They are allowed to use it. And the way it is defined at the moment on the official source at neurographica.us, that specialist is the first professional level. It authorizes the use of the Neurographica method for personal development and professional services, including presentations, but does not grant the right to teach the method. As a Neurographica specialist, you may apply the following algorithms in group settings where all participants draw on a shared theme. And there's NeuroRain, NeuroTree, NeuroLotus, NeuroSnow, NeuroIkigai, and Space Balance are the algorithms that are allowed to be used in the group setting, and also, of course, in a one-on-one. Neurographica specialists also can use algorithms from the basic user level for one-on-one coaching practice. In total, there are around 16 algorithms that Neurographica specialist has access to. Some of them are only for one-on-one coaching, others, just the ones I mentioned, are suitable for group coaching sessions. So it's a brilliant tool and more accessible certification for those who are already using some other modalities. It's a perfect fit, although there is an option to start from scratch as well, which is a little harder because obviously not only that you need to complete the certification, but you also have to start thinking how you're going to monetize the skill and where you're going to find your first clients. And this kind of course takes between 3 to 6 months to complete, depending on your speed. The curriculum itself takes around 2 months, plus you have to complete 2 case studies with the client. So you have to coach 2 clients as part of the certification and provide your own case study. So it's a very hands-on certification, and it involves a real-time practice with real clients. We offer this program with Valentina Leitner. So if Neurographica specialist is something that you want to look at, then you can have a look at our new course starting in autumn. I'll leave the link below in under this podcast. The other option is in terms of professional development is Neurographica Instructor. So this is at the moment kind of the highest qualification that you can achieve. The difference between Neurographica specialist and instructor is that instructor has the right to teach Neurographica. So who is it for? It's for people who like teaching rather than coaching, because these 2 different things. And for people who like creating content, delivering classes, building curriculums, it's a very much teaching certification in many ways. You still work with people, you can deliver workshops, you could still do one-on-one sessions because you get the specialist usually included in your instructor course. But it is a longer certification. It tends to take 9 months. It's also a bigger investment for you, but then you don't have limitations in terms of algorithms that you are using in your workshops or classes, and you can teach certified courses such as basic user, composition, and and the other 8 that I've mentioned. So you would have the right to issue certificates, do supervisions, and offer those kind of courses in your school potentially. And then you have more rights in using the word Neurographica in your advertisement and in your events. So these are kind of your options for professional development. You do need to complete the basic user in order to complete the specialist. You obviously can go and dive straight into the instructor course, and basic user will be the first course that you would ever complete in that training. But from my experience, I find that people test the waters first before you invest financially and time-wise as well. It is wise to try at least one certified course to say, okay, is this method A working for me? And B, do I want to teach this method in a similar way? Because we have a curriculum, we have algorithms that are in line with the school, so you can have that experience of the insider as a student of Neurographica program, before you make a commitment. The other thing to notice, though, note as well, if you kind of exploring that option of becoming a professional, let's say, you actually, some of the investments, for example, if you were to complete the basic user and then you completed the neurocomposition and neurocolor, and you invested the money towards those courses, complete certification, got your feedback, got your um, certificates, and then you actually decided, I love it so much, I also want to be an instructor, I want to teach this method, I want to spread the word to other people, and then you apply for the instructor course. Actually, there is a way to apply the discount to the cost. So you won't have to pay again for the same courses because the instructor course program would include those 9 modules. So if you already done the basics, you can take away the amount that you spend from the full price of the instructor course. So it's almost like prepaying your way to the instructor in a way, but having the benefits of learning from different people, having experience of different styles under your belt, looking how people are teaching, because you'd find that we are very different in the way we present curriculum, present the course. I really love the structured approach personally, so I break down the lessons. I like to do bite-sized content. I don't like to do the big 4-hour workshops. Which quite often is the case with other people. So we all have a different approach, and my approach is methodical, and I like visual content. So I do like different printouts, workbooks. Other people focus more on the color side, art side, spiritual side. So just really about your preference, finding your people and the way how you prefer consuming information, how you prefer to learn. Um, there are always samples and always things to try out before you make any commitments. So when you are searching for the right person who you are taking the path with, make sure that you get acquainted, send them a message, send them an email, try their freebies. I have a free essential course available to everybody to get familiar with my style. I dropped the link here as well. You could have a go at that. And I also quite openly give free consultations as well. So if you are interested in taking something with me, a course in my school, I'd jump on a Zoom call with you. You could meet me face to face. You can ask me a question. You can see that I'm a real person. And then I think that's the kind of the biggest problem with online purchasing. It could be quite daunting because you're just looking at the web page and then you don't know who is behind that web page. Are you going to get communication? What kind of interaction are you going to receive with the instructor? So it's always good to test the waters if you're not sure. Speak with a couple of different people, and try their styles before you go and commit. And once you find that person who works for you, who aligns with your energy and how they teach makes sense to you, I'd recommend to stick with them for a little while, just so you have some kind of consistency. Because from the experience and from what people say, that it can be a little bit confusing going to different people because people teach in a different way and produce information in a different way. So the difference can be quite vast and it could be confusing which way is the way to go forward. So have that sort of little commitment where you go in and maybe do the basic and then the composition with the same person at least, and so you have the consistency and the transfer of knowledge, because what we tend to do as instructors, we tend to build our courses based on previous courses. So if I'm doing my basic user and then after that I'm doing neurocomposition, then I will really rely on the fact that people have taken the basic user and in the way that I'm giving it, because a lot of information is relevant in other courses going forward. So this is the summary of our episode today. You have two pathways when it comes to Neurographica method. You have a pathway of self-development, which starts with the basic user course because it gives you the best start and foundation that allows you a holistic exploration within the method and a safe way to attend other courses, building on the knowledge that you receive in the basic user and giving you that skill to self-coach and self-reflect in the process. So it's a really the great starting point for you. And after that, after the basic, you can either take, the formal route of one by one achieving the certification in 8 modules of Neurographica, or the freedom to choose specialized courses created for a specific theme. So you might be doing a course for your health or for your life purpose or for communication or for relationship. There are plenty of choice there to target a specific area that you're interested in. And then the second route is a professional route, is then when you fall in love with Neurographica and you know that this is the method that can help other people and you want to be that bridge to transfer either the knowledge as a Neurographic instructor and teach people how to use Neurographica in their day-to-day life, or you want to be that person who coaches them, who guides, who asks questions. So essentially, a life coach in some respects, then it's your specialist certification. If you have any questions with regards to the content of this episode, or you want to receive some additional information, make sure to drop me a message via email and we can have a chat. I'm here to answer any questions, and I will leave you a couple of links to check out underneath this episode. So thank you so much for your attention. Keep creating, and goodbye. Thank you for listening to the Neurographica podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share it with others who might benefit. Remember to claim your bonus in the episode notes. Until next time, keep creating and embracing the art of transformation. With gratitude, your host, Anna Morali.